"Have you ever seen such a smart Caesar?" A grandfather with Alzheimer's disease held his fork upside down while eating. Caesar saw this and slowly took the grandfather's hand and helped him adjust the fork. The man next to him also noticed something was wrong. The next morning, the old man walked out of the house. Caesar thought he was just going out for a walk, but he didn't know that the old man had dementia again. He walked slowly into the car and made a mistake in operation, crashing directly into the car in front of him. Neighbor Vincent ran out in a hurry and quickly dragged the old man out of the car. He yelled at the old man. Caesar Vincent looked out the window and saw his neighbor bullying the old man. He ran out angrily. He directly threw the man down and beat him up. The man cleverly used the objects beside him to escape. Just when the man ran home and thought he was safe, Caesar caught up with him and kicked him out. Then Caesar picked up the man's finger and bit it, but he regained his composure. Caesar realized it later and thought he had done something wrong. He then hugged the old man tightly and kept silent. Soon Caesar was forcibly taken away by the animal management staff. Will drove to take Caesar home, but was told that Caesar was no longer eligible for adoption. Will had no choice but to take Caesar to the management bureau. Caesar, who was confused, thought he was brought here to play. Just when he was curious and playing, he found that everything here was fake. Then he ran to Will, but was stopped by a layer of glass. He was eager to tell Will that he wanted to leave, but Will, who had no power, had no choice but to promise that Caesar would come to visit him often. Caesar looked at Will walking away and was angry and desperate. Then the manager called Caesar over and coaxed him into the cage. Caesar looked at these new neighbors yelling at him and felt extremely regretful for his impulse just now. The next day, the manager brought something that even pigs wouldn't eat. Lunch. Caesar looked at the disgusting lunch and casually threw it on the administrator's face. But Caesar, who was not afraid of tigers, did not realize the danger. The administrator took a hyper-sure water gun and shot at Caesar. Caesar was shot into the corner of the wall and was soaked. At this moment, he finally realized the danger of human beings. In this way, Caesar curled up in his wet clothes and slept all night. The next morning, Caesar opened his eyes and saw a stone on the ground. He picked up the wall and painted the appearance of the windows at home one by one. After finishing the painting, he lay on it and fell asleep. At this moment, he missed his life at home very much. At this time, Will was worried about his father's body. Because of the antibodies produced in his father's body, the previous drugs were ineffective. Will had no choice but to return to the company to continue researching and developing drugs. This time, they asked an executioner named Koba to do the drug experiment. But during the experiment, Koba suddenly rioted. The drug leaked. The fat man beside him did not put on a protective mask in time and inhaled the drug into his body. However, he continued to work without taking it seriously. On the second day after the drug experiment, Koba could actually write words by hand. After the test, Koba's body was improved in all aspects. The boss was very happy to see the results. He was ready to mass produce the drug immediately and put it on the market. However, Will insisted that the drug was not perfect and needed to be tested. But Guan Yi was helpless. Level crushed to death, so it was immediately produced and put on the market. But what everyone didn't know was that the fat man who inhaled the drug had already shown abnormalities. At this time, Caesar gathered with other executioners for the first time. How did he use his wisdom to win over everyone? The next episode will be updated soon.